Welcome to Tiltyhouse. I'm Coriander Dickinson. I'm going to be playing some Kentucky Route Zero, and I don't remember what I was doing. It's been some weeks since I played last. I think I was in the route, and I had to leave the route to go back out to do something, maybe talk to someone. I think there's a journal in the game. As long as I can find the correct save file, it'll all work. Alright. I'm sorry you can't help, Sarah. I know you would like to. Let me pull this up. Swapped to mouse and keyboard this time, because I think it might work a little better. I think I saved before quitting. Oh, that's how it works. You toggle the slots. Okay, let's start Act 3 then. Right, the child from the museum and his bird friend. Sugar? Just a little. Forgot how you take your coffee. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well. I heard you yelling. Bad dreams? We were up on a roof, Ira and I, and Charlie, eating a light supper. I was drinking sweet tea. Charlie was reading. We were surrounded by other houses, closely packed. Huge sidewalks. It must have been, what's that word? Subdivision? That's it. I'm sure, below us, a group of people were gathered, standing quietly. A man was reading from a book. Like a weirdo. I asked Ira about the weather. Would it rain Tuesday, or when would the sun set? Something like that. He wouldn't answer me. Charlie stood up. Ira told him to watch his step, and then I remembered. He woke up before I could stop him. Charlie was alone on that roof. I guess he was. He was so bright, his teacher said. What was the word? Apt. That's it. Oh, man. Unarmed Oracle raid. Dang, thank you, Cameron. Hey, squad. I don't know. What does Cameron call his people? The corrupt. The shining light. Defenders of justice. Cam fam. Okay, it's the Cam fam. Sure. Y'all should check out Cam and his fam on Unarmed Oracle. What were y'all playing today? Clicking on heads, space drawers. Ooh, the commune. Yes, yes. I'm going to continue this talk about an accidental death. So welcome. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's an accident. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. Might be a long drive. I hope the truck can hold up. They sent it in by mail? Maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. The order is all... I'm sure we can fill it. Guess that'll be the last. I guess it will be. Last act of Lizette's Antiques. The... Oh, what's the word? Finale. Maybe. No, that's not the word. Just need to think about it. More coffee or something. Or I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. Seems inevitable there'll start to be words that I lose forever. What are those boxes you set in the hallway? Oh, those are Charlie's old books. Oh. I thought we could look at them together. That sounds nice. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait with you. Hello, E-Block. Thank you for the bits. And hello back to Cameron next time you see him. Okay, I've got a skeleton leg. That's new. Dr. Truman. That's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. Think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... I was dreaming. That's unlikely. Neripnol TM is quite powerful. In fact, many patients report a sensation of lost time. Do you feel like you've lost time? I guess so. It's been about 2 hours. What have you been doing? We watched TV for a while. Then Dr. Truman showed me some of the terms of this bill. It's kind of... You'll want to look it over yourself, I think. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well? It was the heat. The shingles were cracked in the sun. One of them slipped under his feet. Shingles? What are you talking about? Who slipped? Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the Neripnol TM. It's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving at least for another hour or two regardless. Thank you, Doctor. Sure, Let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, side effects. How long am I going to be recovering? Well, at your age, I want to be clear, you should expect lingering effects of this injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water. Avoid extremes of temperature. I'd stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. Mountain lions? Good advice in any context. Best thing you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. What do I clean it with? Only clean your leg with a soft cloth, moistened with water or isopropyl alcohol. Definitely want to avoid abrasive agents like detergents or other solvents. So, do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? Didn't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. I don't want to think about that bill right now. Sure, well, we can go over it later. If you have any questions, there's a phone number on the bottom where you can reach the Consolidated Power Company. They handle all the billing. Wouldn't put off too long if I were you. One more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of the Neripnol TM. Typically, we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about. Just keep it in mind. Thanks for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. Okay, Shannon. How are the drugs treating you? I don't like to take medicine. No, it's good for you. He's a doctor, right? I know what you mean, though. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. I almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches just before something or other would get contested, and we learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another miner, end up with some pills, and instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions. Like all this lore that came with it. Like magic. Dangerous. Mysterious. Weaver's folks couldn't help? Yeah, they had a pretty good health care through the university for a while there. A couple of times they'd swing something so I got a bit of whatever Weaver needed. In high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once, and you're lucky if even one of them is someone in the room, you know? So she had these pills, and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Did it help? At first, yeah, it helped a lot. I had a kind presence and clarity of purpose that I never really had otherwise. Didn't want to stop taking them. One day I was sitting in my bed, my notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook, and I was holding a pen in my hand. I remembered this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly with such precision, I couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It's just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patching up the side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image and that sound. The cage was kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it, rapping and nodding, scraping copper against the pate, like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that bird cage with a 1,000-yard stare. Well, let's talk to our doggy. You get some rest back there? I don't feel much rested myself. We'll get a break. Maybe tomorrow, huh? Alright, truck it is. Or should I explore around here a bit? Does camera move? I can go back into the Museum of Dwellings. What's this? Visitors. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day of the year except Labor Day. Last admission is 4 p.m. daily. Damn. Try the door. Are you folks lost? And then what? Ben, you're being very uptight right now. Okay. You're not going to talk to me. Let's get trucking. So, what's the plan here? I could use a bite to eat. Oh, okay. You've been on the road a while. Well, there's an all-night convenience store not too far from here. Is that okay? Sounds good to me. Okay. We can take 31 heading east. It's right before 65. Heading east. It's right before 65. Is this the 31? Let's get on the 31. Diner. Oh! The truck's engine sputters and dies as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. My truck! A tree! It's definitely a tree. What? Why is there a child in the tree? Hello, child. Nothing to be done? Can you take a look at it? Guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? First time it's just died like this. Well, where's the champagne? Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Look like a road crew's been out here. Maybe we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Yep. Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. Here's their card. Lucky Boot. Alright, I'll give them a call. Hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into a large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel? Old truck just stalled out. This is Lucky Boot Collision Towing, right? A friend gave me your card. Open 23 hours a day? We have a car. I mean, it's a truck. We're broken down by the side of the road. That's why I'm calling. Sure, that works for me. Just need to get back on the road, you know. Well, I'm, very sorry to interrupt that, but... Is that like some kind of naval thing? I don't know. We're off 65 somewhere. Just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. Okay, well, I don't know any of those people, but that does sound like the right area. We've been over here before. You've been over here before. Okay, what do you need to do? How long do you think it'll be? Thank you, Thirsty Kitty. Good rhymes. Alright, tree boy. Tell me your secrets. Are you bored? Not yet. Okay. To me, you look a little bored. Let's play a game. How about 20 questions? Okay. Ezra looks meaningfully at his shoes. Got it. Okay, guess. Right. Is it alive? No. Can I see it with my eye? Yes. Does it last for more than a day? Well, we put it together, and that takes a while, but then we break it apart right away. No, it doesn't last more than a day. Not the way it really is. Is it bigger than a dog? No, a dog is bigger. Except for one of those really little dogs. Or a puppy, I guess. Does a puppy count as a dog? Alright, that's all your questions. What's your guess? Okay. Is it a jigsaw puzzle? Yeah! It's a puzzle! Julian found it at the bus station. It's a picture of a spooky underground lake. There aren't any boats, but some pieces are missing, so maybe that's where the boats are. I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. Pretty grim place to be stuck. I wonder what happened to the tree. I mean, maybe it was just old. You know what used to happen to old trees out in the forest? Wildfire would come through and clear them all out. Made room for new trees. Then people built houses and we can't have fires going all the time. So we kept putting them out. Now we have all these old trees choking out the saplings. starving the young trees for resources, just clinging onto life until snap! And some road crew comes by and blasts the stumps with dynamite. I don't think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. Now it's time for Doggo. Ooh, Ezra. I wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. He's got a lot of houses to carry still. Wish I could help more. That thing's been broken for years. So, we'll get to find out what station you had it tuned to and when it went out. Snapshot of a younger man's tastes. Haha. Do you remember what it was? Some college station? Well, I'm sure we'll find something to listen to on the road. Oh. Whoa! Is this the right way? I don't recognize these trees. What's to recognize? Just a bunch of trees. Just, the trees are so quiet, right? Usually you'd hear birds, wind, a squirrel, or something. Turn your ears down and focus on the road, Cricket. Radio. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm a little bored. Work some chord progressions in my head for a while or something. Haha. How far are we? Are we there yet? Oh, stop. Harry's not gonna be happy. You know he doesn't like me anyway. I'll tell him about the frog. He won't understand. Hey, yeah. Didn't you play this on a record? This was Dee Dee's record. Yeah, Dee Dee, that guy's out of control. We should get to a set with him. He's a creep. Yeah, that creep can play, though. What time is it? It's late. Harry's gonna flip out. That old man was born flipped. I just hope we can scrape together some tips. Hard enough when you get there on time. I'll make sure Harry pays up. I have a way with him. I know. Meep meep. Brake disc. Look like they could use some help. So they can call a tow truck. Around here? They're just gonna end up with Lucky Boot. They'll be waiting there all night. Guess it's up to some good Samaritan. Okay, we'll help them. You're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry'll try to bilk us on our fee. Hey, anti-crepuscular. Kathy Rain's motorcycle turned into a different video game with a sidecar. Maniacs. Are you okay? Sure, you? Oh, no, I'm fine. Thanks. They were in a hurry. Some folks are always in a hurry. Not you, though, huh? Just keep drifting along and don't let anyone rush you. What is that? Is that patience? Something like patience. Guess that's what I like about you, old man. You know how to wait. I don't think I ever will. Stay here. Careful, he's wicked with strangers. Ha! You here to clear that tree? Hear that, Cricket? We'd better get the chainsaw out. Who'll pay to gas it up? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So... won't the state cover that? What? Just straight cut off. Sure, something like that. Listen, we got 2 questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? Not sure I follow. What kind of temperament do you think we have? What kind of work would you say we do? Astronauts or aliens? I always said you fell from heaven, ma'am. Otherworldly. It's unmistakable. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? Sometimes I like to leave the radio dial between stations. Of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Right now? Right now. Just headed over on this baby. The Sloth on Wheels. That's what we call our bike. We call it the Sloth on Wheels. Because it's too tired. We'd be very much obliged. See? We have a regular booking tonight, and, well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder. And if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. Only got 1 song prepared. You come to the gig, won't you? Of course we will. Of course they will. Can you believe it? We almost didn't stop. Hungry old lady? Think I got a crust in the sidecar here. But Johnny here saw you folks were in trouble. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. Gig's at an old tavern called Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east off 65. Usually take her right off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. I do like the petting zoo. Now, let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Oh, and I can tune the radio. Convenience store is just a tiny booth in the middle of the lot that once had been an active gas station. Disused pumps chip red paint into dull brown and white stains. The light on the booth is on. Approach a window. Conway approaches a window. The inside of the booth is big enough for a card table, 2 chairs, and a few plastic crates filled with snacks and warm Coke. 2 men shuffle plastic dominoes across the table. Look for a door. Conway looks around for a door. He finds a sliding service window on the far side of the booth. It's the kind of service window that can slide in and out of the booth without allowing anyone to reach in and make a grab for the cash register. Knock on the window. Conway raps his knuckles on the service window. One of the men sends his partner an exasperated glance, then returns his attention to the game. Pass in some money. Conway puts a few dollars in through the service window. One of the men lets out a vexed sigh. Without standing or turning his eyes from the game, he reaches into a plastic crate and retrieves a small blue bag, distractedly pushing it through the service window. Chips or something? The bag is illustrated with a cartoon drawing of an avocado, but the nutritional data suggests it's pretty sugary. Expiration date has been worn away. Where's the petting zoo? There's the petting zoo. Do I turn east at the petting zoo? There's the tavern. Ooh. Doesn't feel right. Like a deep pit. Wonder sometimes if I'm really up here or still down below. Guess we go in. Wonder if there's a behind the bar. Ooh, a dumpster. Let's check that out. Trash bin is filled. Several pairs of working shoes, a few hats, a small Ziploc bag with 3 pairs of eyeglasses. Kinda late. Are you sure they're open? Sure they're open. This is one of those places. Let's head on in. We are not saints, but we kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. Wonder if I can sit for the set. Ooh, sandwich. Rough brick between 2 pieces of stale bread sits in the center of a table, surrounded by a ring of undisturbed dust. Display sandwich. Ooh, goggles. A bulky set of black goggles sits on the edge of the table, next to an ashtray, a newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh. What is it? I guess? I don't know. Can I tell you a horrible secret? I never wear eye protection in the shop. It's dangerous, I know, but I'm always looking back and forth from my oscilloscope to whatever I'm working on. The scope has this peculiar kind of hard-bordered glow that I've never found a pair of goggles or glasses that doesn't smear out that glow. At best, the lens softens everything so you can't quite find the edges. All important tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Yelling towards exit. Say, shut the GD door, would you? Can't afford to let the AC run all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind, listen. Can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get this set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. Yeah, but I also... Don't you want to hear some music, Harry? That does sound nice, after the day I've had. But Are they actually going to perform? I'll talk to Ezra first. Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox's catalog of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. Let's hear it. Take a seat next to this dead sandwich. How's it looking out there? Y'all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? Harry adjusts the soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test, 1, 1, 1, 3, 50, lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Not too bad. Well, we'll take care of that right now. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out riding around, you know. You like to drive around, old man? That's my job. Of course you do. So we're out riding around and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade. Weeds in the parking lot. Taps all dry. Bats in the bar room. And run by this creaky old bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping him awake was fear of death. So glad to be back there. Back here at lower depths. Hey now. So we stopped for an early drink and there was a lady singing right here on the stage. The song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey, and we just hope we do her song justice. Here it is, Too Late to Love You. You're right, I think it is a dialogue choice, Wild Peaks. That explains the yellow text. It's a nice, spooky atmosphere. Let's talk to Harry. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Rapt. I guess the usual fee is about right. I'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the... Damn it. I was trying to tell you two. I can't pay. They cleaned me out. Got nothing left to GD IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credits, so I got this note to get some more from them later. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Gotta keep this place open somehow, god damn it. Watch your language, Harry. Could you pay them with your IOU? Well, very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Well, it's just, I can collect on it here when they bring more whiskey up, but for you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, you know... Hey, thanks for the anonymous, gift. Whoever you are. Down to the distillery. Down to hard times, you know. You have to take the zero. Very fancy text effect on the zero here. That's what we'll do. How do we get there? If folks here, you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but I hear... People hear things. Rumors. Do you know another way to Dogwood Drive? Dogwood? Got a letter, did you? Got a stack of them. Well, okay, sounds like the zero's your only course now. Harry, you're alright. If only. Got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you gotta do. Take a left out of the parking lot, and then just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar, but... I mean, familiar but strange? You know the feeling? Like, I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. Filmed on the mountains, and there's the deer, and I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. It's even stranger for being so close to familiar. Something like that. You'll know when you hear it. Fix that strange but familiar station on your dial, drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. I mean, right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for eventually. Hey, E-Block, thank you for subscribing 3 months in a row. Familiar but strange, like this sub. True, too true. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? Ba-ba. Okay, find a radio station. What's this station? Never heard it before. Sounds like horses. Horses running? A race? Charlie and I used to go to races sometimes. Charlie, he was your boss's kid, right? The one who, yeah. Must be some memories there. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry said we just drive until it cuts out. Ooh. Huh. Whoa. Well, there's the horses. Hall of the Mountain King. Heck yeah. Whoa! Wasn't expecting a real place. Hey, Blue. They don't keep the roads up too well, do they? Not down here. Who do you think is responsible? Bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in disrepair. Johnny! Time to cut him loose, ma'am. You bored? Nah, it's a slow night anyway. I'm happy just tagging along. Boardwalk. Got some rope. Loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over with a fine dust. Huh. Maybe further up. Ooh, computers. Just what we need. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. I'm sure they have their reasons. Ooh. A pet carrier for a cat or small dog has been left by the path. A calcified rag wadded in the corner may once have been a blanket. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. Amy? Oh! It's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interests at heart while really you're in love with the young woman as well. So you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections, but it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. I'm into it. Well, maybe. Maybe I still have the knack. Used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing. Real hot bodice-ripping stuff, you know. Miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Just me and my thesaurus steaming up the windows. I'm not sure you should be listening to this, kid. I'm not listening. Oh, Sarah. Simply Suzu. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to the channel. We are exploring Kentucky Route Zero. But of course it couldn't last. You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere. I thought I might be able to do something with that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. Ha! So I went back to the university and I studied human-computer interaction, and I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. In my off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow up on their own. Too complex. Miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Ooh, old man? Is this the Donald? Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Where the old river runs through hills and caves and... Ah, who are you? What's that song? Oh, you've caught a verse of my absent-minded warbling. It's just a song from my youth. Something a dear friend used to sing to herself as we hacked on crystal radios in the boiler room. Singing, in old Kentucky where by love a lovely home did build for me, and where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. From there on, it's all meandering rivers and romantic greenery, and that's it. What were we talking about? We're a bit lost, actually. Ah, you came from the road. The zero. No, you should stay off that road. Not safe. Bizarre topology. Never get anywhere. Just brings you back here. Back to this cave? Always back to this spot. It's a prison. An irrational prison. But I don't mind. Not anymore. This is where my life's work is. The computer. Right on the other side of the spire. Looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Some beat-up mainframe exhumed from a university basement and left in this cave to rot. Or to flower. No, it's not an ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively. In some pretty experimental ways. Believe me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but... You look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effects of mold growth on diffused base transistor circuitry? Sounds like it would short circuit. Certainly. Not all of it. Some moldy filaments are more or less conductive than others, and it grows in non-linear chaotic patterns. We can guide it a bit through a simple application of classical horticulture. It can't produce specific results, only tendencies. Sword and feeble, we hammer at this derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings. But we are mere gardeners in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels, boundless and bare. The caves stretch far away. We are too late, always too late. What? Did you say something? I'm just interested in the mold computer. The mold computer. Oh, Xanadu. You've heard about it. Perhaps you've read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structures in my article, Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative as Post-Structural Witness. Evolved, and then deteriorated. Donald sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. I'm afraid you're too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated in the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted, and then all the charm was broken. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin? I drive deliveries for a small antique shop and we're closing down. Shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts and I keep them there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Far too late to do anything. Computer. Oh, who's Andrew? Do you know that when I first... No, I mean, if this cave were larger, could it... I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How could you characterize this space, the one we're standing in now? Kind of spooky, but I'm not scared. Spooky for a baby? I think we'd all agree that it's a fair assessment. Wait, let's unpack for a moment. What makes it spooky? No, how do we know it's spooky? Or would be spooky for a baby? The shadows. Sure, but they're not just shadows, right? I mean, they could be. They're projections, or maybe they're anatomies? How's that? Can you tell where we are now, surrounded by creeping anatomies? Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Only if you close yours. Okay, I can do it from memory. Good, now. You are standing at the top of a rocky peak. A tongue of flame licks the, shadowy anatomies of... Where are we? Oh, here, again. How disappointing. Sorry to, disappoint. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't be so attached to the future. It's always getting in the way of my work. Better to be in the moment, carefully observing and documenting with no attachment. Let me give you an example. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on his project. He said we needed someone with more analytical mind to do the descriptive writing, someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. Donald warned me that it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into computers. And I've put in the hours, believe me, I've put in the hours. Described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading, or looking, writing, or exploring. Sometimes in the dark and lonely moments I worry that in my sleep I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? They could only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write, and all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. On to the computer. Oh. Yes. Look at. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. How do you think we get it started? This whole thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. Ooh. Wow. Oh! Whoa! Ha, this thing is in rough shape. Try blowing on it. Conway blows some dust off the keyboard and presses the return key. Well... Okay, that's worse. Kinda looks like a house. Type house. Conway types house. No. Nope. In blood quit. Oh. Oh boy. Having issues. Oh. Time for some percussive maintenance. Conway thumps the side of the machine with his palm. Oh, I have my portable degausser with me. Old systems like this one can build up remnant magnetic field, and that sort of warps everything along whatever pattern it's settled into, you know? The degausser cleans that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around it until it's uniform again. That's how I like to think of it anyway, like shaking a snow globe. Haha, worth a shot. Do it. Degauss. Hall of the Mountain Gink. Well, okay. Oh boy. Press any key to quit. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Whew. Bizarre. I'm almost out about Lula. Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. Where's Roberta? Over here? Let's talk to this other person. The kingdom is in peril. Roberta laughs. Well, what else is new? Do you work here? Work. You could call it that. I gather old circuit boards and throw them in the fire. Sometimes I fish out precious metals and let them cool into toxic gems. Put them in my hair. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, magic shield that protects the bearer from age, magic chest that's always filled with... Never went to university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took to the public libraries like a beachcomber, studied fairy tales. Then I came to work for Donald. Paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics, scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the firewood into senescence. The kingdom is in peril. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Let's look at this gate. Massive gate constructed out of scavenged materials blocks passage down the far side of the spire. Alright. Nope, I don't want to interact with Xanadu. I just wanted to get back to the rotation point where I could get to Donald. Right there. Actually, it seems like a good time to take a break. I'm just gonna refill some stuff, empty some stuff, and be back soon. Y'all stand up and stretch now, you hear? Alright. I have returned. And I see Eric the Orange flaunting my orders. The least you could do is, like, spider push-ups. Come on. Let's talk to Donald. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Pretty busted. The chalky bones of a beautiful dream. But you can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There was so much more to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustingly simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. Then it began to crumble when the strangers came. First we only heard them, walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. What do they look like? They look like... No, it's too horrible. Shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me, but it's too late now. If I'd listened to Lula, Lula? Lula Chamberlain? Yes, of course. Oh, do you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone. She left. We built this together. Did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I. Lula is gone from here, but Donald points across the cave with his pipe. Still in there, in Xanadu. Don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind that damn tangled highway, but Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, a shrine to perfect simulation. Until... But maybe. Those weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. Maybe dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them to repair my masterpiece. Back there in that tunnel. Push back the vines. Crawl out into the darkness. Watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees, from rock to crystal, and then to mud. Then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. Still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. Ew. Don't smoke the mold. Don't do it. Where the strangers come from? Are we in a cemetery? Is my glowy leg gonna show up? Aha! Travel to the right, travel forward. Which way? Oh, everyone's just spilling out. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. It's muddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Crystals and then mud. Okay. I want to stay outside. Okay. I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. Ah! How are they different? And should I look at them? Ooh, I'm Ezra. An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Daniel Garwood, generous disposition, will be missed. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. I just want to confirm that there's tasting notes on the dirt about these graves. Epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Rob Barker and Gregory Pang. We think you two would really have liked each other. So we buried you together. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. Fill date July 24th. Weird finish. Sarah Wirt. Always had a far-off look. Probably still does. Fill date August 1st. Aftertaste of rainwater. Maybe they're licking the corpses. Or juicing the corpses? Epitaph is engraved on the stone marker. Eric Malarkey or Aaron Robinson. Fill date September 8th. Sweet and fungal. Ricky Grove. Would have wanted it this way. Fill date September 9th. Maple turpentine. Ben Tobin. Should have said something. Fill date November 1st. Sense of foreboding. Unknown. Seemed reasonable. Fill date November 2nd. Easy on the nose. Okay. I feel like I know a little too much about all this now. Find any lizards? One, but it ran under a rock. That's lizards for you. Is that guy your boyfriend? Nah, what's a boyfriend anyway? It's a word people use because everyone else does. Doesn't mean anything to me. He's my cricket. See? It means something. It's specific. I want to be specific. I think you are. It's the middle of the night, and here you are in a graveyard. Any other kid your age would be in bed. You've just got to make choices on and own them. You think I was born this foxy? Came off the assembly line about a half-foot shorter and all gray, no eyes. They were going to have us clearing out an old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. Bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player. We hid away in the underwater cave and listened to it for over and over. We knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just those two featureless shadows. Ever since that night, we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. Feel more like myself every day. I feel less like myself without my folks. Whoops, missed. Now it's just me and Julian. Misclick. Change in reality. Oh, what's this? Movement. People are back. There you are. What'd you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You look flushed, old man. Doesn't matter. Right, okay, we got what we need. Let's go. Wonder what they found. Singing softly. Trace in orbit round the road, close your eyes with holy dread. For we on mold and whiskey fed and drank from rivers down below. We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damn machine, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Oh, soon the visitors will return. What have you found? They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystals. But the mold! Of course! Too much mold on the timing crystal would send the simulation adrift. Each moment lived out of sync. By all means, yes, clean the timing crystal. Let's go scrape some mold. In this funky cave computer. Do you see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right here behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right, we're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Looking for legibility here. Okay. Aha! Well, a little bit of... Maybe I should degauss it? End of the road. At end of road. There's a house. The door coming at me. You're standing at the end of the road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. Check out the building. Enter building. Inside building. Certainly is creepy. Oh, what's this? Oh, a lantern. Yeah, definitely need that lantern. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There is a sensible, modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern. Alright. Entering the forest. That's not something you can enter. Just type a direction. North. So we've gone north into the forest. You are in an open forest with a deep valley to one side. Can we climb a tree? Don't think much is to be achieved by that. Sorry. Can we dig a hole? Can't see any such thing. Pretty limited vocabulary. You're in a forest. Hey, it's a maze. East? North? North. You're in forest. Lula is here, soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. Oh, we should talk to her. Ask Lula how she is doing. Hi, Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. West. You're in forest. Joseph is here, tapping with small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. Small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on top of the backpack. Maybe he has something to say. Donald! I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his fingers along the index card he's been tapping on, from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, dearly gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through those woods, Donald. Ha! I've been noting down the sounds of the forest, with an ear for speech, and an inborn filter for poetry, I suppose. So maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetic subsystem makes of these punched cards. More west. Edge of hole. Well. You're at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. Computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Yell into the hole first to see if there are pirates. I only understand you as far as wanting to yell. Yell, any pirates down there? No response. Sorry, kid. You're batting 0 today. At least we know there's no pirates. Go down into the hole. That seems pretty obvious. Down. The cave walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. You lose your footing and fall to your death. Your score was 0 out of a possible 8,192. What? You may continue or quit. Continue. Big ol' hole? Or do we start at... Yeah. Maybe we need to climb down more carefully? Let's use rope. Or let's shine a light. Light lamp. Your lamp is now on. Shine lamp in hole. The lamplight only reaches a few yards down the hole, where the rock is coated in a slimy black mold. You can tell that the walls are too slick to climb safety without assistance. Rope. Tie rope to tree. The rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Down. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. They've been following me. In bed quilt. Cave? Cavern? Tunnels? You're in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they're carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. Set up the gear. I only understand you as far as wanting to set up the above. Set the up above. Lula looks pensive. Ask her about the Treasure. Ask Lula where the treasure is. Ha! If I knew that, we wouldn't have to set up down here. I know you think this environment will help our project get us in touch with a deep romantic reverence for some kind of profound natural spookiness, but I was more comfortable in our lab. The university picked the worst time to cut our funding. Typical institutional stinginess and academic politics. I mean, I felt like we were getting really close to something. Anyway, I don't know if it's sustainable down here, to live and work here together. What's this gear you're carrying? Ask Lula about gear. Sure, Donald. We may as well take inventory. I've got the tape machine and the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice so we won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punched cards he's transcribed with the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and the paper tape reader. You've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous. Hey, Donald, can you help me, wire up these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from the tunnel to the east. Wire up the generators. Help Joseph. I appreciate it, Donald. I am not much of an electrician, you know. You know that? Joseph hands you a bundle of wires. His kitten curls up in a spool of cabling. Listen, the three of us had a good thing for a minute, wouldn't you say, up at the old place before it got ugly? I'm saying, came down here to work, to really do it. Xanadu. And I mean, we've got to be rational about this. All three of us have got to put our feelings aside for a bit and be rational. Do you know what I'm saying? Is he talking about Lula? Kind of creepy. Tell Joseph to back off. Joseph wipes his brow with dusty sleeve. Seems, down here, we're all strangers. Permanently strange. You are interrupted by the ominous echo of a grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before. What the hell was that? Let's check it out. In tunnels. So far, nothing. Big ol' nothing. Nothing happening. You rush down the tunnel, with Joseph and Lula close behind. How do you like all this, kid? There's lots of reading, but I'm really good at that anyway. The tunnel narrows, and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward, as smooth rock gives way to jagged crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning, as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In Crystal Room. Skeleton? You are in a large, irregular chamber. The walls, floor, and ceiling are covered with crystalline projections. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Finally! Let's listen to what he says. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life, and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, then slows to a deep gurgle. Looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment, then he returns his awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through the tunnel to the north. Lula flees through the tunnel to the northeast. I'm gonna follow Lula. Run north. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from the floor to the ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually find yourself cornered. You have hit a dead end. Who are they? Comfort her. You reassure Lula that the strangers are harmless. Are you sure? Maybe you're right. It sounds like they have gone back to work. All right, let's try to pass them quickly now. Don't make eye contact. Then we'll find our way back to the equipment. Back to Bedquilt. You're in Bedquilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula's here, panting for breath. Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? Search for him. I only understand you as far as wanting to search. You have to be more specific. Down one of the tunnels? Down one of the tunnels. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor. They're impossible to identify. With the equipment? The various computer and audio equipment casts angular shadows into the tunnels as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Joseph climbs down from the rope still tied above. That damn sound! Those damn voices! I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through that network of tunnels, ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but at every turn, every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here. And I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across the Zero, and I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work and to church, but it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes. Weird images got burned in my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich. A CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Lula looks down at her feet. We should ask him more about that. Donald, you've heard the same damn stories I have, but it's different. Doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. Get him back on track. We're so close. Divert Joseph's attention. You shout something to Joseph about the project you're working on together. You'll die in these damn cold caves. What about these men? You know they'll come back. Tell him we can find somewhere to start a fire. Suggest finding somewhere safe to start a fire. You shout something to Joseph about going deeper into the caves. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you. But not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon heading down the Zero. Wow, don't let her leave us here. Get Lula's attention. You pleaded with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail. And then you can see what your damned machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. Now I'm back in the tunnels, by myself. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted the gift of your friendship. Pretty sick. Sounds like Beardo has his heart broken. You wandered the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius. How do you mean? Vain. Vanity. Ain't it the truth? My Aunt Remedios, before she got the whole ethnomusicography thing, she was a painter, mostly nudes and oil. She had this model. I'll never forget him. Big, classically physical guy. Looked like he was about to storm Troy. Made everyone call him the Colonel. Weaver and I saw this guy naked a lot. Couldn't help it. He was always posing somewhere in the house, chasing the light from room to room while Auntie Remedios made a sketch of his profile or worked the right mix of pigments for his abdomen. Colonel had this magnificent hair. Long, black hair that ran down to the bottom of his shoulder blades. One evening he was standing next to an open window in the back of the house. Sun was setting, early spring, I think. It's kind of windy. Aunt Remedios was trying to get his hair just right. She kept arranging it, like half in front, half behind, running over his shoulder, laying it across his chest in this very specific way. But it itched him or something, and he'd do this weird, indignant shuffle thing, and the wind from the open window would push it around, or he'd start to turn his neck when Weaver or I ran by. Everything would be tangled again. Final product was a swirl of black lines billowing from the top of his neck, Weird thing, I don't even remember his face now. Just that black swirl. Probably the best thing she ever painted. Back to the Hall of the Mountain King. After what may have been years, you stumble out of a tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. The computer's got a version of itself in itself. Now's the time to continue your work. Research assistance. 0. Realism index. 37%. Romance index. 2%. Mold coverage. 0%. You may hire new research assistants, assign assistants to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Hire research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Rick, who studies library sciences. Assigned assistants to a task? Assign. May assign research assistants to debugging, transcription, or speculation. Library sciences, transcription. Oh, hey, we got a raid from... Or host? Host. It's not a raid. Got a notification. Engineering is showing people what's up. Looks like he might have just finished streaming or something. Hire a new research assistant. I need way more people. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. No new applicants. Try again later. Well, let's sleep. Time passes. Rick summarizes the migratory patterns of bats through the tunnels. Now it's time to continue your work. Got 1 research assistant, 52% realism index. Gonna need some more romance. And more mold coverage. You may hire new research assistants. Gonna do that. This time, hired Roberta, who studies fairy tales. Gonna assign her to romance writing. Speculation. Assign how many to speculation? I'm at 52% on stuff, so yeah, more speculation. Sleep. Just gotta make the numbers go up. Time passes. Rick makes convincing argument for the edibility of stone. Roberta discards centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. Greasy, black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Now's the time to continue your work. So we got 2 assistants. Realism's at 32, but romance is up 20, and mold is 21. We're making progress. Gotta hire new people. Loading job advertisement. We get Weaver, studied mathematics. Can I get another assistant today? Nope. Alright, assign. I want realism. Just all 3. Get on up there. And sleep. Roberta carefully transcribes the sound of dripping water in all their variations over a period of several hours. Rick extensively notates tunnel diameter as a function of length. Weaver types up some lurid imagery from a dream journal. Intruders! The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. Now it's time to continue your work. I'm not convinced this is getting us any closer to the 0. Oh, did stream bork something up? Seems borked. Back for some people. I think those nasty monsters removed my mold. That's why you don't let strangers touch your stuff. Just wait a minute for it to refresh for everyone else if they were having issues. All right. Let's try to hire more people. Hired Greg, who studies architecture. Assign assistance to a task. Alright. I want speculation and transcription at equal numbers. 2. Transcription. 2. Alright, sleep. Time passes. Roberta transcribes experiences. Rick transcribes experiences. Weaver posits that nature, not reason, is the master of industry. Greg muses about the love lives of fungal colonies. Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnels. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Okay. Definitely need more assistance now. Hired Amy, who studies human-computer interaction. Let's assign people. I'm going to split them 50-50 again. Okay, and sleep. Time passes. Greg transcribed experiences, Rick transcribed experiences, Amy had ideas, Roberta had ideas. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Now's the time to continue your work. Ooh, romance is up to 100. What does debugging do? Debugging 1. Assign. I'm going to assign 2 to transcription and then 1 more to speculation. Actually, maybe I can hire another one. Andrew, study statistics. Greg makes adjustments to the echolocation algorithm. Bats now fly normally instead of getting hung up on each other, wings and clustering together like horrible leathery tumbleweeds. Rick transcribed experiences, Roberta transcribed experiences, Amy had ideas, Andrew had ideas. Dream fitfully. You, Lula, and Joseph stand in a hallway. The walls are blank beige. It's just after winter quarter, but before spring, so there's no students around. Joseph says something clever, and Lula leans on his shoulder. You wish that, instead, she had taken your hand, or that there were any other option. Now is the time to continue your work. Okay. Gonna hire. Maybe I'll just put them all on debugging and transcribing. Marianne studies fine art. Let's get 2 on debugging and the rest on transcribing. Time passes. Andrew identifies a bug with the oxygen level simulation, but is unable to fix it. Rick widens tunnels slightly to reduce the need for extra crutch commands. Roberta transcribed experiences, Marianne transcribed experiences, Greg transcribed experiences, Amy transcribed experiences. Intruders! Strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. Are they scraping my mold off again? Yeah, let's get transcribing. Just everyone. A mail carrier on a bicycle brings you a sizable bill from the power company. Gonna hire another one. Connection failed. University message boards have been discontinued. Alright. I'm gonna assign 1 to debugging and the rest to transcribing. Time passes. Roberta fixes some weird math with some weirder math. Everyone else should be transcribing experiences. Yes, get moldy. Yes. Alright. Perfect. Alright, everyone, debug. Rio Pezio. Yeah, we're running a simulation. Kind of a text adventure within a computer about the computer itself. You prepare a nutritional meal of boiled cave moss seasoned with salty translucent paste you've harvested at great personal risk from stalactites. Alright, let's try to quit and start over. Okay, we can keep playing. Assign. Gonna need transcription. Oh wait, no, it was speculation. Dang it, can I... No available assistance. Let's get them speculating. Intruders! Stealing my mold. Finally they leave. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not working. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. That was a rhetorical question. Quit game? I only understand you as far as wanting to quit. Maybe we have to lose or die somehow in order to start over. Eat the lamp! Eat lamp. Don't be ridiculous. Maybe we have to wait it out. Wait indefinitely. Time passes. Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter the strangers again, but sometimes you hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off in the tunnels. Years pass. Mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst. Leaves behind a sweet narcotic perfume. One night, you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Later that night, an old friend. You really did go deeper into the caves. Premature end of file. Press any key to quit. Huh. Let's go talk to Lula. I don't remember who she is. Lula Chamberlain. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. Met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So, this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill. Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We've been looking for you. So you found the address data? Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it? I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. It'll only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to... I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain. How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge! Yes, the bridge. Through that gate over there. Sentimental. Now we, too, recede into history. Good night, Donald. Meet me at the Bureau. We'll get you to your way. Head counterclockwise in the cathode ray, then turn around. It's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. Alright. No? Just the gate now? Alright. Oh, gate's open. Nice. Oh, right, the band. I'm gonna ignore this stuff. That's weird. What happened up there? Just a bunch of computers. Johnny yawns. Let's talk to old Blue. Thanks for waiting, Blue. What have you been doing? Keeping Johnny here company? Okay, back into the night. So it was counterclockwise to the cathode ray. Counterclockwise is this way. There we go. Now back. There we go. Let's go to reception. Moving right along. Ding ding. Ding ding ding. Nope. Alright. Nope. Okay. Coming. Hello. Let's talk to Lula. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Any word on the address? Results just came in by courier. Good news. Donald and his assistants were able to sort out through the noise. And Rick cross-referenced the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. Sure, you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. You going somewhere? I might. Feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. I still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there, did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Try and stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks, and deep. Can I go down here? Is that where I'm going? Did I just go back over here? Yes, wait. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? Up to you. It's okay, you can tell them. Doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So, we were in that graveyard. Thing with the strangers. Glad I get to know this. Oh, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. It's muddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Crystals and mud. Okay. I'm gonna stay outside. Okay. I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. Go into the church. Look for strangers. Sit or floor? I'm gonna look at the floor. Church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flexed by unknown boot heels. Guess sit. don't know what I expected. The strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague, really, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but... You don't have to talk about it. No, it's okay. I want to. When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. She was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through the channels to check the saturation. She was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared. Suddenly, ran away, but we thought... You thought she was dead. Yeah, I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver... It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room. The walls are blank, kind of gray. There's a tape on the walls like markings. And desks, a classroom maybe. Camera is in the corner, so it's sort of 45-degree angle into the room. And there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. Stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. I can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get... distracted, fuzzy. Shen coughs into her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? I hadn't noticed. Maybe it's me. Kind of allergic to... What the hell was that? Did you hear that? We should check outside. Oh. Okay. Elevator pew. Oh, I'm the skeleton now. Stranger activates the tape player slung to his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room. His patient sounds like it should be smiling. My regrets. Hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. Guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. What's this job? Certainly, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Well, it's not an old church. No, I guess not, but still, has a kind of reverence to it. What's that smell? Like bread. Baking bread? Please, follow me. Doot. Still got that degausser. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. I have to ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety, to adjust your outfits just a bit. Some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. Not taking off my shoes. Oh, I understand. It's only a courtesy to... Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway, just this way. Costume change. Degaus. Pew! No? Nothing? Okay. Down, down, down. Let's go over here and talk to some people. Ooh, look at the thing. More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Gotta relay the formula. What formula? Eh? Oh, the formula! Changed our lives. Once, years ago, we were as prisoners to the intricacies of our debt here. We'd have to account for everything on paper. Compounding interest by hand, reassessing amortization, and leveraged asset distributions according to nightly merit decay. Then she stepped out of the dark caves to show us the light of the formula. She had a brilliant grasp of mathematics, and a saint-like way of speaking right through the numbers. Now we just plug our daily numbers into the formula and run it all through the adding machine. We occasionally suffer some surplus drift, but she instructed us all on the necessary adjustments. It was devastating to see our revered mathematician go, but she was needed elsewhere. Her legacy abides. What job are they working on? I don't know that it's settled just yet, you see. Sometimes we take on newcomers already in debt to the distillery. One of the foremen will find something for them to do, chip away at their sum until it all gets settled. That's what I'm doing here, chipping away. That's what we're all doing. Debt to a distillery. Wow, check this stuff out. Must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. You really like old electronics. Yeah, I've got it bad. Haha. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it all just fall back into ruin, you know. Like that old computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? More to look at over here? Nope. Can I just click down here? Will they pass? Yes. Figure out your lives. Here's the fleet. Oh, we just use these things to get around internally. What do you do here? Oh, I'm a copywriter. Text on bottles and flyers, ad copy, that sort of thing. Discerning shades and heartsick lovers have long known the taste of hard times, held it in favor all over of other spirits. That was one of mine. So, the trucks are just east a ways and shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. Should I go talk to other skeletons? Is there more movement over here? No? No? Not at all? Okay. Meep meep. Boing. 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 Yes. Oh, what's this? Can I go over here? Oh yeah, spirit safe. Don't let them catch you looking too closely here. Not within our purview. What is it for? Keeps us honest in the eyes of the state. Well, in the eyes of the management, anyway. We keep pretty out of the view down here. Not much chance of being spotted by a helicopter, hey? But if the law came knocking, we could say we were logging and securing our virgin spirits, we could say. Marvelous engineering, though, isn't it? This way? Stuff? Ooh, warehouse. Feel that draft of warmth like a summer breeze? This is the aging warehouse. It's heated artificially? 100%. Draws a lot of electricity to tame this cold, rocky cave, I'll tell you that. Of course, we only have half our aging stock in here at any given time. Most distilleries let their whiskey sit in casks through the cycle of seasons. In summer, the wood expands and the whiskey seeps in, picking up flavor. In winter, the wood contracts and squeezes the whiskey back out. Down here, there are no seasons. Each workday proceeds from the last in an unbroken chain of climate control. So, we make our own seasons. Each cask alternates in a weekly cycle between the cold ground upstairs and this heated warehouse. Those are just caskets. Those are full of people. Yeah. So I guess these are like before and after? I wonder what they're keeping the old casks around for. They smell nice for a little while, and it's pretty overpowering. No way around that smell. No way to clean them after the aging process. I mean, it's a one-way street. Can I meep meep down here? What is? Malting and bottling. Labeler. This is where most of our staff ends up. Pretty modern equipment. Oh, absolutely. Top of the line machinery. Dramatic improvement. We used to bottle everything by hand, but these machines are marvelously effective. Made things a bit complicated for the workers, after all. The distillery can't just fire them. And then would they settle their accounts? But there's nowhere else to put them. They keep an eye on things here. Can't be paid as much as just to watch, of course. Well, that's progress for you. What? Can I not look at the rest of the stuff? Oh well. Onward with the tour. Meow. No? Anything more this way? What's that? Why are they full of light and fire? The lumber yard. Huh. Here's the touring yard. Vents pretty well, considering. The smell. This is what they call bourbon a comfort food. Those are empty, right? What? Oh, of course. We don't really exhume them anymore. We tapped that source years ago. This seems like a kind of dead-endy end. Oh, maybe over here. No? No? Nothing? Anything? Back this way, I guess. Oh! Get on up. Get over here. Weep weep. Okay, go this way? What's over here? Just more warehouse? Probably just cold. Aging. Can I go up these stairs? Yeah. Hee. Yeah. Huh? No? Not down that hallway? Okay. But up here is fine. Ooh, stuff. Computers! Just what I need. Please, don't touch that thing. Very sensitive devices. We're not even allowed to run the formula through them. What do they do? Temperatures, pressures, wear, tear, acidity, supply levels, any and all attending numbers in need of crunching, and so on. Am I boring you yet? Are you simply dying of boredom? I myself could discuss this matter past sunrise. We're trying to fix this old computer in the caves. Of course, I'm boring you. Let's move on. Aha. More of those old computers. Looks like about the same vintage as that stuff in the cave. What's this little screen for? Oh, wow, good eye. This is an XY monitor. They use them in oscilloscopes in arcade games, or they used to anyway. It's rare stuff. Hey, is this like antiquing with Lizette for you? Haha. Probably sound kind of ridiculous waxing on about vacuum tubes and oscilloscopes. I don't think I could talk about anything like that. I bet you could. Someday. Maybe you'll bend my ear about whatever. Back down. Doot doot. Meow, meow. Yeah, let's go to shipping. Truck. Here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I used to drive long hauls. It's a lonely kind of thing, or so I hear. You can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment. Simply hit a curve too devilish. Do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company, slow to anger. But if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that you've lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 1020 on that load, come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 1012, City Kitty. This is a good time, dispatch. You may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again. Introduce yourself. Pleased to meet you. Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. You folks know anything about old computer? 99 wheel holder, gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so. I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Check the back. Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want it. Bit hard on the knees and back at your age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. Some of the drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. Did Miguel load his own trucks? He did. It was a jealously guarded task for him. If I didn't know the man better, hear me now, if I didn't know the man better, I may have suspected he was skimming off the top. Sounds like a lot of work around here. It's in our interest, friend. After all, we must meet our financial obligations. Check the tires. Oh, sure. I know you'll want to look. Kick the tires. That's the thing we do, isn't it? So our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. More likely to hurt ourselves, isn't that the way, eh? Tires look fine. Oh, I'm sure. It wasn't the tires that failed our dear Miguel. We were quite sure. Conway sat in a dim room with folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from a book. He drank coffee, as it is. He listened. The speaker listed all the things we tried, most people in the room were probably there by court order. Few others shared. They spoke in abstractions like a program of action, good orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual, all the things we tried. Then it was over. They clasped sweaty hands through a short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. He started walking. He was always walking these days. It was good to slow down. It felt clarifying, like a walking meditation. The road ran by a creek for a while. Took an unforeseen detour where the creek and road parted, following the edge of the water. Skipped a few stones alone, then stopped to consider an overturned boat. It was a kind of serenity, that wandering and looking without purpose. He was coming to rely on those moments. Now, what else can we show you? Headlights. Headlights work fine, see? Do little fiddles with the controls. That's important. Most of our products go out at night. Never know who you'll run into in the daylight. Dusk can be treacherously misleading with all the indirect light. Magic hour, eh? Magic hour, sure. The angle of the sun at dusk and dawn means light is mostly indirect reflections from the sky. Everything looks like a movie. It's all a bit softer. Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. Turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. Watched traffic and birds. Seeing those migrations close up, they looked random. He thought about the load in the trailer, thousands of plastic cups. Somebody wanted those cups in Rockford for that night. Wasn't gonna happen. He was only human. He'd been out since the headlights were on. He didn't even stop for coffee. Cracked a beer at 3, eyes on the road. 4:30, he dodged some stray cattle. Headlights were coming back on. Rockford could wait. Early morning wouldn't be much worse than late night. What could they care? Just needed a few hours. So, moving on. Control the wipers with this knob here. Do little fiddles with the controls. Seem to have decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm. But we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. You folks watch the weather closely? I wouldn't know if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. Have I mentioned I rarely, if ever, leave our facility? Wouldn't know the rain if it drowned me. They ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. It was pointless to stay. I'll review. He was lost cause. She didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored. It's time to cut out. Shitty day for it, though. 83, biblical flood. They went to a bar. Pulled into a dive bar with an afternoon open mic. It smelled like rose water. Smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch, whistled buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted once to have loved. Brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. It was time to go. Stiff drinks were wearing on him, and he felt the surge of dejection. He knew she'd keep singing. He thought she should sing for someone who deserved to hear it. He knew she'd find a ride, so he slipped out alone. Sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow. Seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car drift into a decision. Years later, he'd think of this moment he himself started drifting. Modest technology, but suited to the job, eh? Plenty good enough. Truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. Ah, there's the dispatch. Now, tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. Truck looks good. Been over every inch of it, dispatch. Like, it just came off the assembly line. 10:33, dispatch. Got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. 10:04, back it down. Pick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. 10:04. Come back, wheel holder. 10:04. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. Silence. So, I think that went well. Let's head back to the logistics. Still the deal, eh? Got one more thing to show you. Do-do-do-do-do. Park. I like the kind of vague radio music. Alright. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold. It's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air, the angels share. Goes through the vents here and into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living off the stuff. So we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. Kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid. Truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure the mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going. I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs? Alright. Either back here or back at the other desk where we came in. Probably back more upstairs. hard to navigate with this light. If you don't mind. Oh no, I don't get to keep the hats? I mean, this did happen in the past, but still. Adding machine. Here it is, a beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for a daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't... It's customary to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special, mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff now, single barrel. He doesn't... Down the hatch. Venum memore mors. Let's drink some mold stuff. And there's people here. Decent enough. Welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this. I'm disappointed. I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. It's not your first shift drink. Well, there's a matter of this tour just now. My time and experience are billed at quite a premium. It's not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep by my back-of-the-envelope estimates. Well, we have that in common, I suppose, all of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way it is. What's happening right now? Can't start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs, of course. The interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get back here. You should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Yep, just waiting for the ferry. So I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. Just the way these things go, kid. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Right on time. It's got a mammoth. End of Act 3. Not weird at all. Totally normal. Everything about this scene. I think I might actually finish up here. Just thinking of either taking a break or something since it's the end of that act, but it's coming close to 5 on my end, so that would be about when I'm planning to wrap up. I might as well just do that now and say thank you all for hanging out today and witnessing this weird experience that we all totally shared. I will see you all on Wednesday with more Kathy Rain, and probably Friday with Dragon Quest. I'm also on Talking Sim tomorrow night, doing Destiny 2 with Unarmed Oracle. Definitely check out his streams at home. we'll be on Loading Ready Run. And yeah, hope you all have a good week. Wild Peaks, yeah, we missed out on Cultist Simulator, and so now we're going to be doing kind of a deep look, I guess, at Destiny 2, and I guess the lore within. It's one of Cameron's ideas. Oh. Hope you all have a good day.